Dude, check this out.
What is up, gang? Uncle Travis coming to you from the Belmont area of Nashville today, where the homeowner has kind of a unique situation. They bought the lot adjacent, which actually had the house that they grew up in. So they had that torn down and they're doing a whole new thing. The main problem is there's a lot of construction traffic and construction noise here in the Belmont area. So they were trying to kind of mask that, but kind of have a centerpiece for their new backyard. You can maybe see it in the background behind me. They also have bees here on site and several chickens. So we wanted to have something that looked cool, was functional, and would also let the bees and chickens get a drink whenever they wanted. So let's go take a look at what's going on here. There are three things that I think are really cool. One of them was on purpose. The other two are what we call happy accidents that happened in this basin. First thing we've got is just a nice little built-in framer on this weir rock. We've told you many times before. Weir is just a term that we use for a piece of rock or wood that water moves over. So we've got one rock here with a built-in framer, weir right here. This guy was a nice vertical side on this side, framer here. Sweet little Niagara Falls spill coming off there. Really subtle, nice looking. She can see it from where she sits in the sunroom. Got a nice deep sound down here in the water. Second thing, this was kind of a happy accident and we could have made it go away, but like I said, they have bees, so we checked with the homeowner to see if they wanted to keep it or not. They wanted to keep it, and that's this little guy right here. It's a really small, slow trickling waterfall. It trickles down over here slowly enough that birds, butterflies, and especially bees like they have over here, they can come over here and get a drink from this slow moving water and then go back to the hive, and they can do that all day. I love it when that happens, and most homeowners like to keep that because they like to see the birds and butterflies and things interact with the water feature. Third thing was a super duper accident, and that's right down here in the basin. The way the water flow curves around and comes through these two little rocks right here, it almost adds an extra couple of feet to the stream. And visually, that's awesome, but the main benefit is that it allows, as long as the water level is up high enough, it allows you to just come in here and any debris that's come in, especially this time of year, be able to just pull that stuff right out of the water. Kind of like an intake bay, only very, very shallow. Pick that debris out, you got a clean pondless. Next thing we got is this stream. This is a classic little just flowing stream. Some guys call it a ramp because we didn't put any of our what I call dance floors in it. There's no weirs, there's no spills here. It's just a nice babbling little brook. Reason for that, we didn't have a ton of room to do vertically. We didn't have a ton of room to do spills, and they didn't want it. They wanted to see this, which we'll talk about in a minute. So what we did was we just used the natural grade of the land, move some things around and even things out a little bit, but we probably got a foot and a half grade change from here where I'm standing to down here where you guys are as the viewer. And it just, gravity does most of the work, but you got to know where to put your feet kind of thing. And it just, nice subtle little stream, got a good sound up here at the top, and it does the trick down there at the bottom. So I love it. Last but certainly not least is the headwaters up here. This is obviously a very different headwaters than the normal pondless that we do. You might remember a few weeks back, we did the Fountainscape pondless kind of combination zero edge thing on the lake out at Old Hickory. This was sort of an inspiration for that, but kind of a cousin to it. What we did here, we just dug down about 6 inches, flattened this out into sort of a semicircle, mounded up the dirt on the sides, brought our liner in, and basically we built a pond above ground up here. This guy sits in about 8 inches of water. Got a nice weir right there. It's got a really cool, I don't even know what the word is for it. We meant to have it kind of horsetail out of there, but it kind of turned into a double choke. But the homeowner definitely wanted to hear water hitting water. And we've upgraded the pump to a 5,000 on this. Normally we do a 3,000 on a 14-foot pondless. This is a 5,000. We've actually had to put a ball valve in it to kind of control the flow. Otherwise we'd be hitting the sky. To control and contain all this splash, which is kind of what's helping give us the sound, I actually had to come in and build another shelf up and out, and our liner comes up to about here on the back side. Now we're not going to have any water up here standing necessarily. It's not built for that, but this is going to capture all that splash that's happening. It's going to keep this gravel wet, and the homeowner is eventually going to plant some ground cover in here. I suggested creeping Jenny because it goes nuts in a wet section like this on a shelf in a water feature. It's going to look awesome next spring. So there you have it, gang. 14-foot pondless, 3 days in the Belmont area. I love the medium stack slate urn as the headwaters. It is loud. It's a little bit different, adds an extra day to the job because of we're not doing the normal spillway, and it does add to the price, so be ready for that. What we're gonna do is the guys have things pretty well wrapped up. We're gonna get the final 10% as we call it, make sure we don't have any gravel in the yard. We're gonna get out of here and get ready for the next one. What you can do in the meantime is like, follow, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section and let us know what your favorite part of this water feature is. In the meantime, Uncle Trav, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Does it look like the water's coming out the top of my head?
A little bit.
Cool.